We have still a lot of things to do. The banking union, for example, the proposals by the Council are not very good. They are not really helpful to come quickly to solutions if a bank is in failure or is in a big crisis. We have to discuss in European Parliament and amend and improve it. But the banking union could be a very, very important step to bring economic governance to Europe, because we are not divided concerning the banking system. The banking system is interrelated, interconnected, and we have to prevent that one crisis in one country with one bank is affecting the whole banking system and finally the whole economy of Europe. And only together with the African countries we can try to solve some issues, some crises, end some wars and fight terrorism, but it must be always a good cooperation. And of course there must be joint decisions. It's not possible that one country intervenes and says the others have now to co-finance. But jointly to go together and to help our neighboring continent to solve their own issues with their own means, but with the help of the European Union, I think this is the right strategy.
2/3 of NATO spending comes from the Americans. So we have to be very careful not to let the Americans have the idea that somehow we will look after the defence of Europe on our own. With current financial circumstances, that's not going to happen. So we must make sure that America is involved, and the primary means of doing that is through NATO. On top of that, we must make sure that we don't duplicate NATO structures in Europe. It's just producing more bureaucracy, more headquarters buildings without any additional defence capability.
So right now we have the situation that we have as many security and defense strategies as we have member states. Yeah? And this is not a good situation. This is far beyond the capability the Europeans could have if they would join forces. And the idea of a European concept for defense and security based also very much on peacekeeping, on prevention of conflicts, and using military only as the very, very last instrument which we have. The capability could be much better developed if we would join forces. I see the rating more a signal, a warning that Standard & Poor's recognizes that Europe is still not doing a good performance to control the crisis, the roots of the crisis, and the decisions which have been prepared on the next pillar for the banking union, the decisions are still very weak. So the direction to have a single resolution mechanism is good, but the fund is poor. And the board discussed to decide on whether a bank has to be resolved or not. The board is so not yet described in a good way. I'm very much in favor of making it a European board, whereas obviously the member states still want to control as member states this board behind the resolution mechanism.